Good morning, friends. Today is Friday, March 27th, 2020, and I miss you all very much. I saw Mrs. Pilligard this morning. She brought over a book for me, and she misses everybody too. Before I read my story today, let me tell you that I tried to get a picture of Maggie. She was up in her bed and I was going to get my camera and I was going to start my video. And by the time I got back to her bed, she had left and she's outside playing right now. So one of these times you'll get to meet Maggie. I'm kind of surprised that Molly has not joined us because she was around here a little bit ago. Maybe she will before our story is over. And Daisy is in her usual place, sitting on the boxes in my little storage room in the sun. So we're kind of alone at the moment. Before I start my story today, I want to show you some of the things that I've been working on. I hope you guys are doing projects and things around your house to keep busy. One of my crochet projects is I'm crocheting these squares. And I'm going to make a whole bunch of them, and I think in different colors, and I'm going to put them together to make a blanket for myself. So that's one thing that I'm doing. The other thing I'm doing is I like to feel like I'm helping, and some of the nurses and doctors are having trouble finding masks to keep themselves safe. So I am sewing some masks. And here is one of them. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to pretend I'm a doctor or a nurse. And there you go. Do I look like a doctor or a nurse? This mask does not protect the doctors and nurses against COVID-19. But it does protect them against other germs that might make them sick. So, and they can put it over their other mask that they have that does protect them against COVID-19. So I'm going to make 50 of these. I've made 4 so far, and I've got the other ones already cut out and ready to sew. So that's 2 of my projects. I'm trying to keep busy. So I would love to see pictures of things that you guys are doing. If you want to take a picture and email it to me, that would be wonderful. So let's go ahead and start today's story. Today's story is one that you guys know. I read it in class before and everybody loved it so much that I thought you would enjoy getting to hear it again here on YouTube. This is called Norman, the Slug with the Silly Shell. Here's the front cover. Here's the back cover. And the back cover has some extra information. It tells you what the story is about. It says, Norman is a slug who longs to be a snail, if only he could find a shell. He tries a tennis ball, an apple, even an alarm clock, but none of them feels quite right. Until the day Norman happens upon a donut. And what could be better than that? Well, perhaps a shell covered with pink frosting isn't quite what he hoped for. Laugh out loud with Norman in this wonderfully wacky picture book. So sometimes on the back cover, they give you a little, it's called a synopsis, a little brief telling of what the story is about. Here's the spine of the book. And back to the front cover, we have the title, Norman the Slug with the Silly Shell. And we have one name, Suhendra, so that means that Suhendra wrote the words to the story and she drew the pictures. All right, let's go ahead and start. Norman the Slug with the Silly Shell. Norman the Slug thought snails were great. Wow, said Norman, look at them. They're amazing. But unfortunately, the snails didn't think Norman was so great. Whee! Crash! Uh-oh. Norman, you silly slug, they cried. You've spoiled our fun. This only works if you've got a shell. Norman felt left out. Sadly, he skulked off into the moonlight. Poor Norman. He wants to play, but he doesn't have a shell. If only I had a shell of my own, he sighed, looking at his reflection. And that's when he had an idea. Maybe I could have a shell. After all, he thought. So there he is. I like this picture because the moon kind of looks like his shell. Oh, do you see somebody? Well, hello, Molly. Did you come in for story time? We're reading about Norman, the slug with the silly shell. Okay? All right. You sit there quietly while we read the story. But finding a shell was not as easy as it seemed. One was too bouncy. And one was too noisy. And one was already taken. Uh-oh. The apple already has somebody in it. Norman needed time to think. Taking time to think is always a good idea. Ta-da! A shell. It was perfect. Look how happy he is. Norman had never been happier. He could join the snails at last. What do you think about that, Molly? Norman loved being a snail, and the snails loved Norman's silly shell. He fits right in there. But the fun didn't last for long. Suddenly there was a loud flapping of wings. "Look out, bird!" cried the snails in panic. "Quick, slither for your lives, or we'll end up as supper," because birds like to eat snails. Uh-oh. Did you guys know that birds like to eat snails? But the bird was more interested in Norman's silly shell. It looked delicious. Norman was being carried up, up and away, higher and higher into the sky. What could he do? I think she's being antisocial this morning. Are you socially distancing or something? Oh no, I forgot about this part. Norman did the only thing a slug could do. He made slime, lots and lots of it. With a slither and a slother, a slip and a slide, Norman was free. Gross. But he was falling faster and faster and faster. Until, plonk. Norman, are you okay?" asked the other snails. "Wow," said Norman, "that was great. I love flying. If only I had wings." Uh-oh. Oh, look where his donut ended up at. Ta-da! Oh, what did he use for wings? The chonies! They're wings! Oh my gosh, and here's the end. It's just the end paper of the book. It's not part of the story. I think Norman is very creative. He has lots of good ideas. Well, my friends, that's it for today. I might post another video later. In fact, I think I probably will. Maybe I'll do some, just some random shots of my kitty cats playing or something like that. All right, take care. Email me if you want. You can email me pictures or just a hi, howdy doody, or whatever you want to email me. All right, guys, see you later. Bye.